Hey friends, so a lot of people ask me about my opinions on where they should start off or where they should go in nursing. So I wanted to come here and do a quick video about nursing specialties and how I believe that you should choose your nursing specialty, or the things that you should consider when you're choosing your nurse specialty. I think one of the most beautiful things about nursing, period, is not just the career stability, but it is the career variety. Oh my goodness, there are so many avenues to utilize your nursing degree, your skill set, and your passion. For that reason, I think nursing is such an amazing career. There are a few ways that you can kind of figure out what's the best fit for you. You can use your clinicals if you're in school. During clinicals, you go to different settings, different units, floors, things like that. You can kind of use that to get a tiny taste of what things are like in that specific setting. You can also use YouTube or people you may know that are in different fields. On YouTube, you can find people in all kinds of different settings that'll give their perspective. Like I said, if you know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it, then you can ask them. There's also reading job descriptions on career boards or, Google. But then there's a few questions that you need to ask yourself. And with these questions, you can't allow other people to answer them for you or make you feel bad for the answers that you come up with. I came up with 6 questions that I think that you should ask yourself in order for you to find the specialty that best fits you. The first question you need to ask yourself is, which age group am I most comfortable with caring for? This one kind of really only splits up into 2 categories. There's adults and children. Now these 2 categories obviously have subcategories. There's older adults and there's babies. But these are the 2 categories. Who do you feel most comfortable with caring for? And not everybody is comfortable dealing with the cute little babies. Me, for example, if I had to do the things to babies that I do to adults in the ICU, I would have an anxiety attack. Hats off to all my NICU nurses out there. Leave a comment below if you are a NICU nurse or you want to be a NICU nurse. I have much respect for you guys. But yeah, so who are you most comfortable with dealing with? There are very few settings that you'll deal with both. ER being one of them, you may see both of them, but most often they are split up into those 2 areas. Second question is, do I want to heavily interact with patients and families? This is another question that I do not want you guys to let anybody make you feel bad for whatever your answer is. If the answer is no for you, that is perfectly fine. I'd rather you be honest with yourself and go to where you need to be rather than lie to yourself and let somebody else make you feel bad into getting into the bedside and you have no bedside manner or no care for any patient or their mama. So answer that question for yourself. Do you want to be on the front line of things? Do you want to interact with the patients and the families? If not, maybe you should consider areas like surgery and PACU, cath labs, interventional type areas, maybe even nursing education or administration. Well, administration, you still deal with people. But yeah, kind of figure out what subcategory you can find yourself in that maybe doesn't have as much direct patient and family contact. The third question that I want you to ask yourself is, do I prefer short-term or long-term care? Now this question is in regards to kind of like patient turnover and continuity of care. Are you the person that you kind of want to let's stabilize the patients and transfer them off to wherever they need to be? Areas like ER, like I said, PACUs and surgeries, cath labs, clinics even, you don't see them every single day. And intermediate and long-term care are going to be your ICUs, med surges, your floors that are going to keep patients more continuously. And then there's even the other edge of the spectrum, which is actual long-term care facilities that are meant to keep patients for an extended period of time. So where do you want to find yourself? Do you like to turn over like, okay, I don't need to see Jane Doe every day? Or do you love Jane Doe and you want to see her for your 3 shifts and interact with her and maybe her family? Do you want to get that card and cookies from Jane's auntie or Jane's mama? Like, it all depends on you, what kind of turnover rate or continuity of care that you are interested in. The fourth question that I want you to ask yourself is, what setting interests me? What area would inspire me to learn more and would best fit my skill set? So you have skills and interests, and there's a specialty that kind of matches up with that. There's things like, if you like data, statistics, reading, writing, research, obviously there's things like nursing research and nursing education that could fit your interest. If you like beauty, there's aesthetic and dermatology nursing. If you like specific systems of the body, like the heart, the brain, different areas of health like cancer or specified disease processes, there's cardiology units or floors, neurology units or floors, oncology, different specialized areas. If you are fascinated and you work well with people with behavioral health issues, then psych nursing obviously might be a place that you thrive in. The fifth question that I want you to ask yourself is, how involved am I willing and ready to be in critical and emergent situations? This is an important question that I also go back and say, answer this for yourself. You will play yourself if you allow somebody else to answer this for you. Not everybody wants to respond to a code blue. Not everybody is an adrenaline junkie, and that is okay. We need people in every area. We need the adrenaline junkies just as well as we need the people who are going to prevent these things from happening. People say that, nursing saves lives. CPR is not the only thing that saves lives, boo-boo. Like, there's a whole prevention side of medicine, and so it is perfectly fine for you to want to be on a more prevention side of nursing, education, medication compliance, and just kind of like maintaining health rather than being on an intervention side where you're responding to these critical and emergent situations, trauma, and things like that. So really answer that question, how willing, because willingness can kind of help with the readiness. You can get ready, but are you willing? Are you willing to be in those high stress critical moments? I think those areas are pretty obvious, as far as critical care, ER, trauma, emergency surgery kind of things. So figure out where you are most comfortable and what you are willing and prepared to do. I know TV kind of gives you this perspective that if you're not like hustling and bustling through the hospital, running and pumping on people's chests and intervening in high stress environments, that you're not a good or important nurse. Like I said, prevention would keep critical care nurses out of a job, honestly. So to each his own. The sixth and last question that you need to ask yourself is, which environment appeals to me? So there are going to be a couple different environments that you will find yourself working in. There's going to be clinics, there's going to be hospitals at the bedside, and then there's going to be hospitals more on an interventional side, which is the procedures that I kind of talked to you about and went through. There is prisons, psychiatric facilities, and laboratories, or laboratories, like Dexter's laboratory or nurse's laboratory. Which area kind of appeals to you? What are you interested in? Are you interested in prison nursing? Are you interested in working at a clinic? These are questions that you have to ask yourself and you have to answer honestly and truly. So I think with a combination of those tools, you can really kind of figure out where you are interested in working. And another beautiful thing about nursing, in addition to all this variety, is that you have the option to move around within all of these areas. You don't have to like go back to school for the most part. There's certain things where you need extra training or an extended orientation period, but you don't have to like go and get any extra degrees for any of this. You can move within all of these areas if one doesn't work for you. So if you answered all these questions, you think you found the perfect fit, get into working into it and realize that it is not what you thought it was and it doesn't suit you well, you can always just go to another area and try it again. If at first you don't succeed, what my girls say, try again. So that's another beautiful thing about this whole thing. I hope that this helps. If you are already a nurse, let me know where you're working. If you love it and you feel like it is the best fit for you. If you are a nursing student or a new grad nurse, let me know, where do you think you would enjoy working the most? Let me know down below. Thank you guys for rocking with Nurse Rocky. I'll see you guys in my next video.